I just want to wish you a lot of luck, and sorry you're getting a kick in the pants.
Thanks, Wilson. Good luck to you, too.
Oh, Kelly, remember to tell me when you get that accident report. If he doesn't come back before too long, I'm going to have to go out and look for him myself.
I'd like to help you look for the doctor, too, Wilson.
Oh, that's mighty great of you, Doc. After he gave me the brush.
I've no resentment against Dr. Chumley. He was right and I was wrong. Chumley's the biggest man in his field. It's my loss not to be able to work with him.
You're a mighty fine man, Doc.
Thanks, Wilson.
Yeah, forget about it.
Dr. Sanderson.
Yes, Miss Cullen?
Well, Doctor, I just wanted to say that I wish you a lot of luck, too, and I'm sorry to see you leave.
Are you sure you can spare those good wishes, Cullen?
On second thought, I guess I can't. Forget it.
Miss Kelly, this is for nothing. Just a little advice. I'd be a little careful if I were you about the kind of company I kept.
I beg your pardon, Doctor?
You don't have to. I told you it was free. I saw you Saturday night dancing with that drip in the Rose Room at the Frontier Hotel.
Oh, did you? I didn't notice you.
I'd be a little careful with him, Kelly. He looked at me like a schizophrenic all the way across the floor.
You shouldn't have given him a thought, Doctor. He was my date, not yours.
That was his mentality. The rest of him, well...
But she was beautiful, though.
Who?
That woman you were with.
I didn't think you noticed.
How could I help it? You bumped into us twice.
Not that it makes any difference to you, but that girl's a charming little lady. She has a sweet, kind disposition. And she knows how to conduct herself.
Funny she couldn't rate a better date on a Saturday night.
And she has an excellent mind.
Why doesn't she use it?
Oh, I don't suppose you would be censured for that flippant hard shell you have. You're probably compensating for something.
I am not. And don't you use any of your psychiatry on me.
Oh, if I could, just once, just to see if you would melt under any circumstances, I doubt it.
You'll never know, Doctor.
Because you interest me as a case history, that's all. I wonder where you get your inflated ego.
Look, you are the meanest person. Inflated ego. Case history.
Don't leave, let's finish it.
Leave me alone.
Gladly.
Chumley's rest. Yes, Sergeant. No accident report on him either in the town or in the suburbs. Look, Sergeant, maybe we better... Now wait, just a minute. They're here now. Thank you. Mr. Dowd.
Good evening, my dear. These are for you.
For me? Thank you.
They're quite fresh, too. I just picked them from outside.
These are Dr. Chumley's prize dahlias. I hope he didn't see you. Did he go to his home?
I don't know. Those colors are really lovely against your hair.
Thank you. I've never worn burnt orange before. It's such a nice color.
You would approve any color, my dear.
Thank you. Did Dr. Chumley go into his office?
I don't know. Where is Dr. Sandon?
There in his office, I think.
Thank you.
Dal, there you are.
I have a cab outside if you and Miss Kelly are ready to go.
Where's Dr. Chumley?
Is he coming with us?
I don't know,
That's nice.
Doctor.
I'm sorry I'm a couple seconds late. I thought Miss Kelly here should have some flowers. You know, Doctor, after what happened this afternoon with you and Miss Kelly here, those really should be from you. You know, as you grow older and prettier women pass you by, you'll think with deep gratitude of these women of your youth. Shall we go now?
Just a moment, Dal. The situation has changed since we met this afternoon, but I urge you to have no resentments. Dr. Chumley's your friend. He only wants to help you.
Well, that's nice of him, and I know I'd like to help him too.
If you'll begin by taking a cooperative attitude, that's half the battle. We all have to face reality, Dal, sooner or later.
Doctor, for 40 years I've wrestled with reality, and I can finally state that I've won it over. Shall we go now?
Okay, there you are. You and I are going upstairs, buddy.
I think there's some mistake. Miss Kelly and Dr. Sanderson and I are going downtown. You're welcome to come with us if you'd like, Mr. Wilson. They do have a wonderful floor show.
Oh, yeah? Well, wait till you see the floor show we got. Upstairs, buddy.
Just a minute, Wilson. Where did you say Dr. Chumley went, Mr. Dowd?
Like I said, he did not confide his plans with me.
You mean Doc ain't back?
Not yet.
Oh, where is he?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Mr. Dowd came in here by himself.
Well, listen, you better talk fast or I'm going to work you over.
rather you not do that. And I'd rather you not even say such a thing in the presence of a lovely young lady like Miss Kelly here.
Mr. Dowd, Dr. Chumley went into town to pick you up. That was about 4 hours ago.
Where has he been gone?
Don't listen to him, smart Hank.
Just a minute, Wilson. Have you seen Dr. Chumley tonight, Mr. Dowd?
I did. He came down to Charlie's place. A cozy spot. Why don't we all go there now and talk it over?
We're going no place. Listen, you better shut your lip and give me some straight answers before I beat it out of you.
Well, what you suggest is impossible.
What's that?
You suggest that I shut my mouth and give you some straight answers. It can be done.
Let me handle this, Wilson.
Will you find out where the guy?
Dr. Chumley did go into Charlie's face, you say?
Why, yes, he did. And I was excited to see him.
Go on, go on!
He had asked for me, and naturally the proprietor brought him over.
Okay.
Well, I had asked him to sit with me, and I was sitting on the outside like this. And Harvey was sitting right next to me, where he could see Dr. Chumley right across from him.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, Doc, we're gonna spend all night on a seating arrangement.
All right, Mr. Wilson. And then Harvey suggested I buy him something to eat. And knowing Dr. Chumley knowing that Harvey doesn't like to eat alone, we asked Dr. Chumley if he'd join us.
And then what?
We did.
After that?
Well, we joined him again.
Keep going.
We joined him some more.
And so?
Even some more.
Go on!
Right after that, we joined
Would
him
you
again.
stop all the joining already?
Mr. Wilson, you're asking me to skip a large portion of the evening.
Would you come on, please?
Harvey and Dr. Chumley then got stationed. Quietly at first, but became quite heated as Dr. Chumley raised his voice.
Why was that?
Well, you see, Harvey seemed to feel that Dr. Chumley should assume part of the financial responsibility. But Dr. Chumley didn't seem to feel so.
I can believe that part of it.
Be quiet. Let this guy talk. He's got guts.
Anyways, after that,
Would you cut the blasted double talk and get on with it?
Mr. Wilson, I'm going to have to ask you not to use that language in the presence of a lovely young lady like Miss Kelly here.
You're right, Dowd. And we are sorry. Now, you say that the other man who came up?
Yes, there was a beautiful blonde woman, a Miss Smiddles, I think, and her escort. They were seated in the booth across from us. Dr. Chumley went over to sit next to her, explaining to her that they had once met in Chicago. But then her escort escorted Dr. Chumley back over to me and Harvey, explaining to us that it would be better if Dr. Chumley minded his own affairs. Does he have any?
Did he have any what?
Well, does he have any affairs?
How should I know?
Please hurry, Mr. Dowd. We're all so worried.
Well, then Dr. Chumley suggested that they go over to Blondie's Chicken Inn, but Harvey wanted to go to Eddie's instead. As they were arguing about it, I went up to pay, and when I came back, they were gone.
Where did they go, man?
Well, I don't know. I had a date out here with Dr. Sanderson and Miss Kelly here, and I didn't want to be late.
Okay. You've done something with the doc and we know it. You're lying.
Well, Mr. Wilson, I never lie.
You've done something with the doc and I'm going to find out what it is.
Don't touch him, Wilson!
Your composure is great.
Wilson, maybe Mr. Dowd isn't lying.
That's all this guy is a bunch of lies. You don't believe any of the stories he tells about the doc sitting there talking there to a big white hookah.
Mr. Wilson, maybe Dr. Chumley did go to Charlie's place.
Yeah, and he saw a white rabbit too.
Well, why not? Harvey was with him. And at first, Dr. Chumley seemed a little frightened of Harvey. But that gave way to admiration as the evening wore on. The evening wore on. That's a nice phrase. With your permission, I think I'll say that again. The evening wore on.
Would you get a load of this guy? With your permission, I'm gonna knock your teeth down your throat.
Mr. Wilson, don't you have some little kid you'd like to go play with?
The nerve of this guy! He couldn't come into our nut house with a normal case of ETs. No siree. He had to come in here, I'll say it again, a puka.
Well, as stimulating as all this is, I really must be getting on my way.
Wait a minute.
Charlie's place? Yes. Is Dr. Chumley there? He was there earlier with Mr. Dowd this evening. What? Well, don't bite my head off! Goodbye.
Ruth.
Now that man was furious. He said that Mr. Dowd was welcome there any time, but his friend was not.
That was Mr. McNulty. He thinks a lot of me and Harvey. Why don't we all go there now?
Mr. Dowd?
Yes, my dear. May I hold your hand?
Yes, if you want to. Poor Mrs. Chumley is so worried. Something must have happened to the doctor. Could you try and think of something, anything that might help her, please?
For you, my dear, I would do anything. I would almost live my life over again. Almost. But I've told it all.
You're sure?
Quite sure. But won't you say that again? I like that warm tone you just had in your voice.
So did I.
I'm nuts.
What?
I said nuts.
Well, I really must be getting on my way. I have things to do.
Mr. Dowd, what is it that you do?
Well, Harvey and I go down to Charlie's, and we sit and play the jukebox. Soon the faces of the other people turn towards mine and smile. They are saying, "We don't know your name, mister, but you're a lovely fellow." Harvey and I warm ourselves in all these golden moments. We come in as strangers, and soon we have friends. They come over, they sit with us, they talk to us. They tell us about the big terrible things they've done, and about the big wonderful things they will do. Their hopes, their regrets, their loves, and their hates, all very large, because nobody ever brings anything small into a cafe. And then I introduce them to Harvey, and he is bigger and grander than anything they have to offer me. When they leave, well, they leave impressed. The same people seldom come back, but that's envy, my dear. There's a little bit of it in the best of us. Too bad.
Well, Mr. Dowd, how did you happen to call him Harvey?
Well, Harvey is his name.
Well, how did you know that?
Well, that's an interesting coincidence, Doctor. I was walking down Fairfax Street, between 18th and 19th. You know the block, Doctor.
Yes. Yes!
Well, I had just helped Ed Hickey into a taxi. Ed had been mixing his ride with his gin, and I felt he needed some conveying. I started to walk down the street, and I heard this voice behind me saying, "Hello, Mr. Dowd." And I turned around, and right there, standing before me, was a great big white rabbit. I didn't think anything of it, because when you've lived in a town as long as I have lived in this one, you get used to everybody knowing your name. So naturally, I went over to talk to him. And after a while, I said, "You have the advantage over me. You know my name, but I don't know yours." And right back at me, he said, "Well, what is your favorite name?" And I didn't have to think a second, because when you have lived in a town as long as I have lived in this one, you just, you know... Doctor, do you have a question to ask me?
Yes, I do. What was your father's name now?
John Frederick.
Dowd, when you were a child, you had a playmate, didn't you? Someone you were very fond of whom you spent very many happy, carefree hours.
Well, of course, Doctor, didn't you?
Yes. What was his name?
If I remember correctly, it was Dave Fitzgerald. A strange man. Did you ever know the Fitzgeralds, Doctor?
No?
Too bad. There were a lot of them. They circulated too.
Dad, come on, help me out. Didn't you ever know anybody somewhere, sometime, someplace, didn't you ever know anybody by the name of Harvey? Come on, didn't you know anybody by that name?
No. I think that's the reason I had such high hopes for it.
Wilson,
Yeah?
we'll take Mr. Dowd upstairs now.
We're not taking him anyplace, Doc. You! It's your show. You ran it. You're letting him sit here forgetting all about the doctor. It's your show. You run it.
Come on, Dowd. Come on, Elwood.
Very well, Lyman. But I won't be able to stay with you for long. I promised Harvey that I would take him down to Charlie's and show him the floor show. Good night, Mr. Wilson. I hope to see you sometime later.
Yep. Oh, boy. Doctor! Somebody! Are you okay?
Oh, I'm all right. You guys, lock the doors! I'm being followed!
What happened?
None of your business! I'm being followed!
Who's following you, Doc?
None of your business! I want to know what she said to get the creature out of her sanitarium. Her home.
Hey, can I tell him, Judge? This is a bit like mother.
He left away with you.
Yes, but that's beside the point. The point is it perjury or is it something we can help with? I ask for your opinion.
Ruthie, I have been looking all over for you.
Dr. Sanderson, disregard what I told you this afternoon. I want you on my staff. You're an astute young man.
Oh, Lyman, did you hear?
Oh, baby.
See you later. You just got to keep Uncle Edward out here, Doctor.
No, I put the sanitarium the way it was before that man came out here this afternoon.
I know what you mean.
You do?
Well, it certainly gets on anyone's nerves the way Uncle Elwood knows what's going to happen before it happens. This morning, for instance, he told us that Harvey told him that Mrs. McHenry's Aunt Rose would be dropping in on her unexpectedly tonight from Cleveland.
And did she?
Did she what?
Did Aunt Rose come as Harvey said she would?
Yes, those things always turn out the way Uncle Elwood says they will. But what of it? What do we care about the McHenrys?
You say that sort of thing happens often.
Yes, but isn't it silly? Uncle Elwood says Harvey tells him everything. Harvey knows everything. How could he when there's no such thing as Harvey?
Fly specks. Fly specks. I've been studying them all my life, while miracles have been leaning on lampposts at 18th and Fairfax. Oh!
Good. Nobody here but people. Mother, you promised you wouldn't come out here. Good afternoon. Myrtle, I brought Elwood's bathroom. Now, why are you all just sitting here? I thought you'd be committing him.
Sit here, girl.
I will not sit next to him. Now, is it settled?
It will be.
Dr. Chumley, may I give you an opinion?
Yes.
His
By all
opinion.
means.
Or more, he's the doctor I told you about. The eyes.
Dr. Chumley, it's my opinion that Elwood P. Dowd is suffering from a third-degree hallucination. And the other party concerned is a victim of autosuggestion. I recommend shock formula number 977 for him and bed rest at home for.
You do?
That's my opinion, Doctor. Your brother will not see this rabbit anymore after this injection. We've used it in hundreds of psychopathic cases.
How dare you call my brother a psychopathic case? We've never had anything like that in our family before. If you didn't think Uncle Elwood was psychopathic, then why did you bring him out here? Well, where else could I take him? I couldn't take him to jail, could I? Besides, this is not your Uncle Elwood's fault. Why would that Harvey have to speak to him in the first place? Of all the people in town, why did he have to speak to Elwood?
Stop letting your oar and keep your oar out at the shock formula brings people back to reality. Then give it to him. That's what you want to live.
I'm not sure that'd work in a case of this kind.
It always has, Doctor.
It's kind of cold.
Yes, well, where are we going? Where's Elwood? Where could he be?
Well, Elwood? Where is Elwood?
I thought...
Elwood, I brought you your bathrobe.
Well, thank you, Vita.
Elwood,
What do we do, Doctor? We've got to do something.
I should say so.
Yes. Yes, it's imperative.
Well, while you're all talking about it, why don't we go down to Charlie's place?
Elwood, you're not going anywhere. You're staying here. Yes, Uncle Elwood.
Stay here, son. Yes.
I plan to leave. You want me to stay? An element of conflict in a discussion is a good thing. It means that everybody is participating and nobody is left out. I like that. Oh, how'd you get along with Harvey, Doctor?
What is your answer, Doctor?
I gotta be alone with this man for just a minute. Would you all please excuse me for a moment?
Do hurry, Doctor.
I will.
Elwood, you stay here.
Mr. Dowd, let me get you a chair. Let me get you a cigar. Is there anything else I can get you?
Well, what did you have in mind?
Mr. Dowd, what kind of man are you? Where do you come from?
Didn't I give you one of my cards, Doctor?
Well, where on the face of this tired old earth did you find a thing like him?
Harvey the Puka?
Is it true he has a function that he can actually...
Gets advance notice? I'm happy to say that it is. Harvey is versatile. Harvey can stop clocks. What? What? You've heard the expression, his face would stop a clock.
Yes, I have. But why? To what purpose?
But, see, Harvey says that he can look at your clock, and you can go away for however long you like, with whomever you like. And when you're...
Wait, does he do that for?
He is willing to at any time. But I have never thought of a place that I'd rather be than right here. I'm enjoying the time I'm having with you, Doctor.
I know where I'd go.
Where?
Akron.
Akron?
There's a beautiful cottage camp out there with maple trees, tall, green, and beautiful.
Would you like to Would you like to lie down, Doctor?
No! Could he do this for me, Mr. Dowd?
He could if he might. I've never heard Harvey say anything against Akron. By the way, Doctor, where is Harvey?
You don't know?
Well, last time I saw him, he was with you.
Oh!
Oh, he's probably down at Charlie's.
That's it?
If you'll excuse me.
No! No! You can't go in here, Mr. Dowd.
Well, I've got to say goodbye to Dr. Sanderson. He's a
Miss-
very dear friend.
Dr. Sanderson is not your friend. None of those people are your friends but me. I alone am your friend.
And I am yours, Doctor.
And this sister of yours, well, she's at the bottom of the conspiracy against you. She's trying to persuade me to lock you up and throw away the key. She's got the power of turning the key to your safety box. She's the one that brought you out here.
He did all that in one day. She certainly is a whirlwind.
Don't you have any righteous indignation? Down! I remember your mother. What did you tell me earlier, Down?
Doctor, my mother used to say to me, you must be oh so smart or oh so pleasant. Doctor, for years I was smart, and I still am. But I recommend pleasant. You may quote me.
I will. I will quote you. That's beautiful.
Miss Kelly, divine grace has never brightened this enchanted face. Oh, it's pathology. You really are very lovely.
I'll never feel happier, Mr. Dowd. I know it.
Hey! Maybe that rabbit gig's a good one. Kelly never kissed me before. Okay, bud, you're discharged. This is the...
Wilson, take your hands off that man! Apologize to Mr. Down.
Apologize to the guy... Apologize to Mr. Down! I'm sorry, sir. That's the door.
Wait, Down. Do women often come up to you and kiss you like Miss Kelly did just now?
Well, sometimes.
Yes.
And I encourage it, too.
To heaven with decency! I've got to get that rabbit!
Dr. Sanderson, I couldn't leave without saying...
Just a moment, Dowd. Doctor, do you agree with my opinion?
Yes, yes. Call them all in.
Judge Gaffney, Mrs. Simmons, will you step down here, please?
Is it settled?
Oh, I find I can go with Dr. Sanderson.
Thank you, Doctor.
Wonderful. What a relief.
Yes, very good.
Now, this is my Corona 977. We can't give this to him without his consent. Will he give it?
Of course he will, if I ask him.
To give up this rabbit, Mrs. Simmons? I doubt it.
Don't ask him. Just give it to him.
We can go down to Bessie's Barn Dance, Blondie's Chicken Inn.
Elwood!
Well, then let's go to Benny's. How many of there will us be? I'll call
One.
the reservations.
No!
Elwood!
Miss... This is my Formula 977. Will you take it? It'll be good for you.
You won't see that rabbit anymore.
But you will see your responsibilities, your duties.
For years, I figured that if you thought of a doctor, then it must be good.
Yes.
And if I see anybody who needs it, well, I'll recommend it to them. But for me, I wouldn't take it.
Hear that, Judge? Hear that, Doctor? That's what we have to put up with.
Vita, do you want me to take this?
Elwood, I'm only thinking of you. You're my brother. I've known you for years. I'd do anything for you. That Harvey wouldn't do anything for you, Elwood. He's making a fool out of you, Elwood. Don't be a fool.
Oh, I won't be.
Why, Elwood, you could amount to something. You could be head of the Western Slope Water Board right now if only you'd go over there and ask them.
Well, Vita, if that's what you want, then I'll go over there tomorrow with Harvey.
Tomorrow? I don't want to see another tomorrow. Neither Myrtle May and I have to live in the same house with that rabbit. Why? Our friends never come to see us. We have no social life. We have no life at all. I wish I were dead, but maybe you don't care.
Well,
Doctor? Do you care? I know that. Vita should have everything she wanted. Where do I go, Doctor?
It's Sanderson's office down.
How long will it stay, Doctor?
Only a minute. Won't you wait?
Now and open up.
I thought I'd only see it take a few moments. No, Mother, don't fidget. Oh, how can I help it? How stunning. Mother, couldn't you see me in a house coat of this material? Yes, dear. But let me get some sleep first.
Come in. What do you want? I'm looking for a... Hey, lady, you jumped out of my cab without paying me.
Oh, yes, I forgot. How much is it?
All the way out here from town, $2.75.
$2.75? Why? I could have sworn I brought my coin purse with me. Do you have any money, Marley? I spent the money Uncle Elwood gave me on my new hairdo for the party. Just Gaffney. Do you have $2.75 and pay the cab driver?
Nothing but a check. We don't take checks, pal. I know that.
Dr. Chumley! Dr. Chumley!
Yes.
Do you have $2.75 I could borrow to pay the cab driver?
How got my wallet? Sorry. Gotta get on the injection.
I'll have to get it from my brother. He's in there to get an injection. It'll only take a few moments. You'll just have to wait.
Lady, you're gonna get my money from your brother right now, because he's in there to get some of that stuff they shoot out here.
But I said it'll only take a few moments.
Lady, I want my money now.
But it won't take long. Besides, I'm going to drive back to town anyway.
Lady, you're gonna get my money from your brother right now, or I'm driving my cab back to town, and you can wait for the bus at 6 in the morning.
Well, of all the pig-headed, stubborn things, I should say so.
What in the heavens is wrong with you, son? Nothing that 275 won't fix. You heard me. Take it or leave it.
I've never heard of anything that's so unreasonable in my life. Dr. Chumley, does Ellen come out there? The cab driver won't wait.
I suppose. Only for a minute now.
Elwood, I think I've taken off without my coin purse. Do you have $2.75 to pay the cab driver? But nothing more. He's been very rude.
Yes. How do you do? Dow's my name. Owen P.
Lofgren's mine, EJ.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Lofgren. Have you lived around here long?
I've lived here all my life.
Do you enjoy your work?
Oh, it's okay. I've been with Brown Caps 15 years, and my brother Joe's been with Apex pretty near 12.
You work for Browns and your brother Joe for Apex? That's interesting, isn't it, Vita?
Yes.
Here, let me give you one of my cards.
We need to get on with this, Dowd.
Yes, certainly. 1 minute. Me and Myrtle May and Vita and Harvey, we live at this address. You're welcome to come to dinner one night if you'd like.
Sure, be glad to.
When? When would you be glad to?
Well, I couldn't come any night for Tuesday. I've got duty all the rest of the week.
Well, then Tuesday. I will hope to see you there. Vita, when did we?
Elwood, I'm sure he has other friends who would much rather be with.
Vita, one can't have too many friends.
Don't keep Dr. Chumley waiting, Elwood. It's very rude.
Very rude.
Yes, certainly. 1 second. Let me go get my money.
When?
He does care. Here you go, and keep the change. I hope to see you on Tuesday.
Sure.
Dr. Sanderson, Miss
God.
Kelly.
I'll be on my way.
Yes, well, you certainly could just have waited.
Lady, I've been driving this route for 15 years. I brought them up here to get that stuff, and I'm taking them back after they've had it. It changes them.
Well, I would hope so.
And you ain't kidding. On the way over here, they sit back and enjoy the ride. We stop and watch the birds, watch the sunsets. We watch the birds when there ain't no birds. And we watch the sunsets when it's raining. But we always have a swell time, and they always tip big. But afterwards, oh no, lady. They're changed. They're changed.
Oh, no? What do you mean, oh, no?
Well, lady, they just crab. They yell at me to watch the lights, watch the brakes, watch the intersections. They got no faith in me or my buggy, yet it's the same captain, the same driver, and we're going down the very same road we came. It's no fun, and it's no tips.
No, but my brother would always tip. He's very generous, always has been.
Oh, sure he is, lady. After this, he'll be a perfectly normal human being. You know what jerks they are. Nice, glad to meet you.
Myrtle May! Judge Gaffney! We've got to stop it! We've got to stop it! Oh, Mr. Chumley, don't give him the injection! Stop it! Stop it! They'll hurt me with their guns and it's Myrtle May! Shut up! I've been around longer than you! I remember my mother! I remember your mother! I remember...
What is all the commotion out here? Wilson, take her away! Away!
She's...
Get your hands off of me, you lazy slaver! Oh!
You don't know what you want. You didn't want that brevity.
So what if Myrtle May and Elwood and I want to live with Harvey? What is it to you? It's our business. You don't even have to come around. Elwood!
Let's
Elwood!
get the
Elwood! Oh! Oh! Elwood, where are you? Elwood! God! Elwood! Elwood! Oh!
Vita's all tired out. She's done a lot today.
Oh, yeah? You want to know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to give my game up at the club, no matter how big the animal is.
Elwood! We've got to get out of here! I'm sick of this place. I wish we had never come!
I thought you cared.
Why?
Let me go get my soup. No.
Look here! My money was here all along. I could have paid the cab driver myself. Harvey! Over to me! Elwood, we've got to get out of here! We've got to go! Oh! Come along, little me! Come along, Elwood, we've got to go!
Vita. Good night, Mr. Wilson. Good night, Dr. Chumley. Oh, and you know, Doctor, for years I've known what my family thinks of Harvey.
Yes.
But I've often wondered what Harvey's family thinks of me. Oh, there you are. Come along. I've been... Doctor, if you'll just scoot over, Doctor, to the side. Harvey's right behind you.
Oh!
Come along. Where have you been? I've been looking all over for you. Did you go down to Charlie's place?
Doc, it's cold in here.
She really did care.
materials are not as nutty as you thought, huh? We're worse, and we're circulating. The term I learned tonight. All right. Well, we do appreciate your support. We thank you very much for coming to tonight's production. You have to know there's a little story behind all this. We came on the heels of the junior high musical Oliver, and we had a very, very short time to put this together. And I really thank the Lord, and I really thank this cast for the efforts they put forth to pull this off. They really did a good job. I commend each and every one of you. Thank you very much, parents. You. And to Harvey. Behind the scenes, you don't see their faces, as always, in these shows. We had an assistant director. Her name was Lisa Burke. Come on out here, Lisa. Last but not least, my stage manager. You don't run a show without a stage manager because they're running the show. They're calling all the shots. I just sit back and let them call the shots. And that's Gretchen Moore. Gretchen, come on up here. This spring, we plan to put on the musical Oklahoma. We're looking forward to that. It'll be a dinner show, 3 to 4 nights. It'll be dinner, box dinner, I think, formatting. We're really looking forward to that this spring. And before I close tonight, the cast would like to wish somebody a happy birthday. So if you'll help me on this here, cast. Ready?